everybody, this is 22 Tiger Dude and I'm here to review the Family Guy Simpsons crossover episode titled The Simpsons Guy. So that's right, we've been waiting for a year now for a Family Guy / The Simpsons crossover, and it is the season premiere for Family Guy. And so, what is this crossover about? Well, this crossover is about when Peter reads these comic strips from a newspaper and he thinks they suck. So he's all like, you know what, I could be a better cartoonist than that. When he writes his own strip, it becomes offensive to the women at Quahog. They all leave town and somehow they end up finding Springfield, where the Simpsons live. And they stay at the Simpsons home for a while they are trying to find their stolen car, since they can't seem to find their car anywhere to get back home. So while we see the Griffin family with the Simpsons family, we get to see Homer and Peter hang out with each other. They argue with which beer is better, and they start off as friends, but they get into a little argument as the crossover episode progresses. You have Chris and Brian that take Santa's little helper to a walk, and Brian, he unleashes Santa's little helper, meaning that he lost Santa's little helper and there might be no way for him to come home. We see Lisa try to help Meg find her talent because Meg thinks that she is not good at anything, and Lois and Marge, well, they're there. So, this Family Guy Simpsons crossover, does it disappoint? No, it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't. This is an awesome episode. I really mean that. This crossover gave me a big old smile on my face. The storyline, first of all, is very well written. I loved how they planned out the whole story, and it's all because it started off with Peter writing a comic strip. I really enjoyed that idea. And I mean, with these two popular shows, how can they not have a crossover together? What makes this crossover so awesome is how it blends the humor with Family Guy and The Simpsons. And this crossover was also very self-aware, because you could kind of see it poking fun at each other, like the shows, like Family Guy pokes fun at The Simpsons, and The Simpsons would poke fun at Family Guy. Bart is known for his famous "Eat My Shorts" catchphrase, while Stewie is known for his "What the Deuce" catchphrase, and Brian actually addressed how "Eat My Shorts" is a more popular catchphrase than "What the Deuce," which I really just loved how the shows kind of poke at each other back and forth. I loved how the Family Guy type of humor was blended along with the Simpsons type of humor. They managed to make that work, which I'm sure that was not an easy thing to do, but how the writers pulled that off and how they were able to combine that, it was just really cool to see. Obviously, you could see a major difference when Bart and Stewie were doing that prank call in that one scene. You know, Brian says something just, you know, mild, but Stewie, he just takes it to a whole nother level, and that kind of gives you the idea that Family Guy's humor, yeah, it's far different from the Simpsons type of humor. The animation style, what can I say? How the Simpsons animation blends in Family Guy's animation form, it was really cool. It was really nice to see Homer and Peter bond with each other. And let's face it, that is what truly makes this crossover awesome. Yeah, I enjoyed Stewie and Bart's plot. I enjoyed the Meg and Lisa plot. Brian and Chris's plot, it's all like, you know, I enjoyed it, and Marge and Lois are just there. They didn't really have a plot of their own, but Peter and Homer make this episode. Seriously, without those two main stars of the main shows, this crossover wouldn't be anywhere near as good. They just pulled it off so well. There is this one scene with the car wash. It was the funniest part right next to the epic fight, which I'll get to in a little bit. Car wash scene was hilarious. I could not stop laughing. It's the hardest I laughed at a moment in quite a long time. Just that scene alone is very funny, and you never think you would see Homer do that kind of form, but when you see Homer, it's just all like, wow, okay. And then they even do callbacks of some of the humor they would do in the past. Like, they kind of brought back the Kool-Aid joke, except not in the same way. They did in a different type of way, which I thought was hilarious. And overall, I just loved how this crossover was very self-aware with one another. Lisa trying to help Meg find a talent, that was really nice to see. And it was really funny how all along Meg is actually good at, you know, playing Lisa's saxophone.